Discord to share screen. So this is our interface, and please like shut down like microphones, speakers, whatever. Like, do you have like something similar? Okay, go to the left corner. You see this plus in the left corner at the top. Click on it. For a few weeks, you are going to be working with Yep. Plus at the top on the left, click on it. Everybody can see what I'm doing? Are you here, guys? Then click on our script. Another thing you need to do, do you guys have a folder for this class? Okay, great. So what you always do, click on session. Then click on set working directory. Then you click choose directory. Then you choose it. And then you find a folder for your class. Again, you can name it like whatever. And you click open. Then at the bottom in the console, you see a path to your working directory. So this way R will know where to get your stuff. Important thing you highlighted. And then copy paste it, but not the like all stuff. Oops. Did you guys do it? From console, you copy paste a path to your working directory. But don't copy paste this like triangle. Do you guys need more time? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys need more time? Okay. Then over here, you do, let's see where the sign is. And let's say I hate statistics. So this sign, this, what is it, dash? The dash tells R, do not run this. And the reason we do it, since, again, R is a language, it's complicated. So sometimes if we do something and we have to go back to it, let's say a year after that, we just don't remember what the hell we were like doing. So with this stuff, with like, what's it, dash? Yeah, with this stuff, you annotate your code. You tell yourself in the future, oh, I was doing this and this. Then you see this square thing. You click on it. And then you say, I hate statistics. And you save it to the folder where you have all your stuff. So now in that folder, you will have this R script with your like, well, we don't have any code yet. So it just what we did, I showed you how to create R script, how to set your working directory, and how to save your R script to your folder. Everybody did it? Okay, yep. Yeah, there was this square. Now it's inactive since we saved it. It's over here. I think this icon is the same, like in other apps, you have like similar icon for like saving stuff. So now let's do. Let me show you a bunch of R code, a bunch of R syntax. For that, in the where is it? Oops. Oops. You see this thing, R code? Like save it and place it in the folder for this class. Did you guys do it? And then you click on it and you just open it. It should open in your RStudio.
Does it auto save once it's been imported into our file?
Like you click here on our code.
Does it auto save the new page in R, or do we have to then save the page?
Once you save it, you probably like save it in like downloads. So like copy paste it and place it in the folder for this class. And once you did it, you just click on it and you should supposed to see something like this.
If you, so once it downloads, it's gonna jump in. Replicating the number. So we can just copy and paste
No, you just click on it, it should open. Like basically you need to place it in the folder for this class. Like keep all the stuff related to this class in the folder for this class. And again, you can name it I hate Kostyaev, I don't give a shit. So everybody opened it? Do you see this in your RStudio? Do you need more time? No? Okay. So now I will show you like basic syntax in R. So in line 26, the thing which is happening is assignment. We assigned value of 3 to X. And this is how you run code in R. You highlight it and you run it. And in global environment, you should see this. Do you guys see it? In line 27, we see like what's inside the object we created. And we run it. And now in console, it shows us what's inside the object. Do you guys see the magic? Okay. In line 29, again, assignment. We highlight it and we run it. And then we do evaluation. We highlight and we run it.
Like for example, if I highlight the some parts,
There is no need, you just highlight it again and run it again. You just run it again. There is no undoing R. But thing is, again, you just run it again, highlight and run it again. Again, in this class, you need to spend at least 4 hours every single day for the rest of the 10 weeks. 4 hours every single day, no more beers. Class time doesn't matter, I mean at home. Yeah. Okay, guys, do you need more time? Kobe, please join Nick. Are you guys friends? You and Nick, are you friends?
Yeah.
Go to Nick.
It's not.
I'm sorry, I'm trapped. And like find I don't think here. You can download them. Okay, guys, let's continue. Raise your hand if you are able like, to do line 30. Okay, nice. Another example of assignment is line 32. We click run. And then we see like what's inside it. In line 35, you like remove an object. So code rm allows you to remove stuff.
So when you run the initial, the first it includes that value in the table, but when you use it.
Yeah, yeah,
We keeps it in the console.
yeah, yeah.
So that's, so that's when they have it.
Yeah,
And that's the actual state there.
yeah. Okay, guys, attention, please. Let's move. We have like 400 lines of the code. So line 33, you can give names to objects which like mean something, like my dog age. Or like I give you a little practice. Do your own age this way.
How do you make that arrow between the number and the?
It's what is it? Like it's on your keyboard. Yeah.
Right, your name again, like under.
Because if you don't do it, it won't be like a whole object. You can like remove it. It doesn't matter. Can you guys do your own age? Okay, let's move. Another example of assignment. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't create something properly. Okay. Okay, remember Boolean data, if something is true or false. Let's go to this. In line 57, we do like equality. If it's true or not. In line 58, we do inequality. And then we do like less than or equal sign, line 59. This is logical data. Again, data could be anything in terms of also like logical objects. And by this code, you can make a logical data like numeric. Yep. Which one? It runs. I don't know.
So like you might be.
Think about.
You have it done.
Wait, you didn't run X and Y.
It go along, that's one.
X and Y.
And then you put is less than.
Yeah, those are the ones. This, how do you find it?
Let's It doesn't refer to anything, just abstract code. Yeah, it's just abstract code. It doesn't relate to anything. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. You don't have it, you cannot look for that.
Okay, guys, let's move. Let's move. We have like 300 lines of code to go through. So true or false, it could be abbreviated. You don't like have to use the like whole word. Okay, let's move. NA indicates if data in your data set is missing, and it happens like all the time. And also you can use NA not applicable in like in a line of code. And with this code in line 79 is.NA, this code allows you to check if data in some variable in your data set is missing. Null is like empty object. And the reason we need empty objects, sometimes you have to like create a variable and populate it with data. And for that, you need to initially create like an empty variable. Yep.
I'm just gonna say when it's the IS dot, that always comes up as true, so does IS mean true on the coding? Like when
ISNA or IS some is just a syntax which indicates if you are checking something for bit true or false. No. With this code 83, you check if something is null, if some like variable is like empty.
So you can check if something's null, but it has to be in parentheses after.
Yeah, yeah. Like in the way our code, like basic principle, there is some like command or something, and there's like almost always brackets, and the stuff you have is in within brackets. And this way is finite. We check if something is finite or not. And this is like for math geeks. Line 92. Anybody taken calculus? You will enjoy line 92.
No.
Another thing with R, you can create vectors. In line 98, we create a vector and we give values to that vector. Oops. But it can be anything. Like, for example, can you do it? Can you do line 101 and 2? Look at the look in your screen. I'm sharing this in the Zoom call, right? Okay, guys, can you do it? And in line 103, you can create a logical vector. And then you can combine vectors in line 108. In line 111, guys, we have 300 lines to go through. In line 111, we are creating a vector with values from 1 to 7. And it's like really easy. Oops. Or we can create a vector with values of 77, for example. We can like repeat elements in a vector. We can create a sequence. 115, yep. A vector is an object which contains something. And in lines 111 to 15, I showed you how to like populate vector with something. It could be numbers, it could be text, it could be logical. And you see all your objects in environment. You see in the right corner on the top, you see environment. Whenever you create an object, it shows like in environment. In line 117, you can look up the length of a vector. How much stuff does it have? Again, creating a vector with 5 values. Again, repeating stuff. We can add elements. line 123. Oops. We can add to each element in a vector. Oops. We can multiply stuff. Oops. Okay. A bunch of mathematical operations. Let's go through them. Yep. It probably means like you didn't run something like above.
If B1 plus C parentheses 1, comma 2, longer object length is now multiple of shorter object.
Again, whenever you see an error, it usually, if we are referring in a code with something we did before, and if something doesn't run, it means at some step before you didn't run something. Guys, let's move. We have like 250 lines to go through. This is like basic R syntax. After that, we'll start doing stuff with it. Line 129, we do summation. (130), we calculate mean. In the problem set for like a problem set for this week, I will just ask you to import data. So problem set number 1 will be like the easiest one. After that, there will be problem set where I will ask you to, let's say, calculate mean. So line 130, this is how you calculate mean. Oops. This is how you calculate standard deviation. This is how you find out minimum value, maximum value, and correlation. One of the things we'll do at some point, like in a couple of weeks, I will ask you to do a correlation between two variables. 134, this is how you calculate correlation. Yep.
Is there a good like dictionary for this online?
Thing about R, the way I learned it, you just Google stuff. It's like it's like, again, like if you are learning, let's say, Portuguese, you just go online. What's the meaning of okay, I will not torture you. Again, line for correlation 134. Logical operators. If elements are equivalent or not. If something is logical, if not, return a vector. I told you, your head will explode. Oops. Okay, now I screwed up something. I guess I didn't run something. This is like explanation. Okay, line 146. This way, with like square brackets, you can look up specific values in your vector. In this case, we are looking up value number 3. We have vector with a bunch of stuff. And with those square brackets, we are looking up what is value number 3 in that vector. Now we are looking up elements from 2 to 4. And you can do the same, like looking up stuff, if your vector has logical values, if something is true or not in your vector. And with like minus sign, let's say like we are looking up everything except for value number 3. And then you like put this minus something. And over here, line 156, let's say we have a value in a vector like something, and we want to replace it for some reason. Let's say we are, I don't know, we want to fabricate stuff. Let's say we are working in a pharmaceutical company and we have results for our drug, and our results don't add up. So we can replace a value. And this is how you do it. Don't work for pharmaceutical companies. And now we replace the value in a vector. So R is dangerous. Like if you learn it, you can do stuff. Yeah, okay, let's see. For example, you have a vector of certain length, and for some reason you need to add something. And again, this thing, this is how we assign. Like if you remember at least one thing from this class today, this sign assigns an object. And here we are doing it, line 160.
You mean the arrow, right?
Yep, error in this like.
Yeah.
And then, for example, we can assign a length to a vector. And a little bit of fun, it's not all suicide. We can create a vector with like colors. And we made it a factor. And then we run it. Yep. And think about a factor. This is important. This thing you need to remember. So again, when you have this arrow, when you assign something, sometimes, and I think you might need it for the problem set for this week. Sometimes when we import data into RStudio, since R is like, I don't know, it on one level it's kind of stupid. So sometimes if you import something in R, it could be imported improperly. So for example, you have a data set with like usual numbers, just numbers. But for some reason, a particular variable with like values with numbers, it is not imported as numbers. So then you do like this assign thing. You say numeric in brackets, and you type the name of the data set and name of the variable. But sometimes sometimes you import something into R, and your variable. Remember, we discussed variables: numeric, categorical, ordinal. For example, we have a variable with like our attitude with Trump. But numbers in that variable, like 1, 2, 3, like how much, what we would like to do with Trump, right? It's not, for example, it's imported as numeric. But for us, it's not a numeric variable. It's a categorical variable. So for that, if it's imported improperly, we use this factor thing. It makes a variable to be categorical. And again, sometimes it like when you do stuff, it doesn't work. So you have to figure out how to make it work. And Google is your best friend. Okay, let's see what's next. Like categories in our variable, right? This is, I just explained it to you, right? Sometimes I need to make values in our variable to be numeric. And this is the how you do it, as numeric, and then you put something inside. And you see, R replaced like stuff we had, like blue, green, whatever, with different numbers. So character vector can be made numeric. And we had a missing value, so this indicates that when you have a missing value, R automatically makes that missing value NA, not applicable. And again, we can make it character again, as character. And we then make it a factor variable. Factor variable means a categorical. Again, let's say we are doing how much we like puppies. And then we creating levels for attitudes to puppies. And then we make it a factor variable. Yep.
Do you have to highlight both levels there? Again, so why the level, I guess, the puppy underscore F underneath the puppy F factor puppy B, like the long one. Why you selected both lines of code? If you have like two, you have 193, 194 both highlighted.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Thing is, you have to do stuff by sequence. So before you do a factor, you see, we creating a factor variable by putting stuff like first we creating two objects, puppy V and like in levels, and then we create a factor variable using the objects we like created just before. So when you look at our code, in some cases, the stuff you do, it refers to something above in our script, right? And when you do it below, when you refer to it, the way I do it, I just like copy paste stuff. Sometimes name of the object could be like tricky. So the easiest way for me, like if you make a teeniest mistake, like extra letter or like extra comma or something, R will not understand like to what you are referring to above. So I usually just copy paste stuff from, if I am writing a code and I'm referring to something I did before, I just copy paste stuff from above. This way you like don't make a spelling mistake or something. And usually it makes sense to create objects which have like meanings. Like remember I created object like XV, I hate Kostyaev or something. Instead of XV, I could just write like Kostyaev attitudes. So when we run this, instead of XV, when we run Kostyaev attitudes, we would have like contents of that object. So in terms of like coding and programming, when you're creating an object, try to give it like a name which makes sense. So you can like remember, okay, this object has like particular meaning. But in terms of R and running, you can create like any objects and give those objects any names. It's up to you, as I showed you before. A little bit of matrix algebra. A vector with different elements. And with dim what is it, command, you create dimensions with your like matrix. And we created dimensions like 5, 4. And with a matrix command, we created a matrix with particular values. Oops. And then we check like what are dimensions. And think about matrices. We can create matrices by remember I said like remember we had a bunch of stuff about vectors. From vectors we can build matrices. Oops, and this is our matrix. Did you guys do it? And think about matrices, sometimes we need to select a particular elements. And we selected an element. And again, square brackets. Remember indexing in programming in R. One of the like useful skills to have is indexing, is ability to pull up a particular value from a particular variable, and those brackets allow us to do it. Now we pick up a cell with dimensions like 2 and 3, right? And it's 2. Or we can pick like the whole row, second row. Since we have number 2, right? We are pulling up second row from our matrix. Oops, we did it. Or we can pull up a column. You see, the first is empty, comma, and then we are pulling up a second column in the matrix. Oops. And we can pull up like a submatrix. Oops. Oh, we can remember we had like a minus sign. This sign allows us to pull up everything except for a particular thing. Oops. And remember logical operators we had like before. Oops. And it gives us a logical description if it's like true or false. And again, square brackets, when you see square brackets and commas, it means that in this code, people are indexing, they're like pulling up something. Oops. It showed us if something is like 3 or not 3. And this way we can select everything that is greater than 3. Oops. Line 231, transpose. It's really, this command is actually one of the, I had to use myself in my own research when you have to transpose the data. Transpose the data is basically turning it by 90 degrees. Oops. And again, we assign. And we did matrix multiplication. And we did like all element multiplication. Oops. Array command allows us to create an object with like multiple dimensions. Another thing, another like type of object in R, list. A list is a type of object which allows you to contain like strings, vectors, matrices, or other lists. And since a list is a type of object which can contain different like types of stuff, we just have it, right? We have a bunch of numbers, and we have a character variable. Oops. And again, we can assign our list and give it like a different name if we want. Or we can make it like a null if we need. And we can pull up stuff from our list. Remember, we had this bool thing. This way we can like pull it up to see like what's inside. And thing is, in like real data analysis, well, I work with like small data. My data in like my research, like a couple of papers I published, my data is small. I can just look at the data, right? But if you work in like business or something, in business data, it could be like million of like observations. So when you have a data which has like million observations, you have to do indexing. You have to like pull up something from like a million by some like category. So and this is how to do it. Okay, we did it. Again, whenever you see square brackets, it means they're doing indexing. They're pulling up stuff, something by a particular code. Okay, we have 15 minutes to the end of the class, and I need to show you like how to do your home assignment. So let's. Go to module 1 in Blackboard. Do you guys see this data 1? Okay. So copy paste this file into the folder for this class. So did you guys do it? Okay. Remember, we created R script. I hate statistics. So what we do, and let's annotate whatever we do. So above this setting working directory. Oops. Where is it?
Do we need that line on line 4?
Yep. Otherwise, R will not know where the file is. Yep.
What's that first word, for?
Setting working directory. Guys, you have it in Zoom conference, and I'm recording all this stuff. Now what we do, importing data. So, file, open file, and then go to the folder where your data is. File, open file. Okay, we are like looking at the file. Okay, file looks good. But in terms of like, can you like open it? But in terms of like getting into R, go lower, importing data set. And since our file is Excel, we know it already, right? So we do import from Excel. And we click browse. and we click open. So now what we need to do, remember I said that R like is kind of stupid. You need to check like what the hell it's doing. Are you guys here? So we have this variable and we have countries, and it's obviously like just words. Yep.
We have to have Excel download.
Yeah. And you see, let's say we see a variable year, and it says double. It's not what we need, right? So we click here, and we choose numeric. And then we see CS. We see numbers, right? But it says double. And we don't need double, we need numeric, right? So numeric. And let's see NCC. And we see like a bunch of numbers, but again, it says double. We don't need double, we need numeric. So we need, we have like numeric. Oops. And we click import. And now we have it. You see, it's in your global environment. Do you guys have it? Should I do it again? Okay. Forum, file, import dataset, import from Excel, and then browse. And then you find it in the folder.
It's a valid Excel file.
Say it again?
If you don't have Excel downloaded, we're not gonna be able to do it because it goes straight to binary. You have to download.
Guys, the Excel provides you free access to Excel.
Yeah, but none of us had it downloaded, so you don't use it for anything.
Oh, okay, please do. And I will make it, I will make the assignment due by end of the class on Monday. And I think I already divided you into groups, right? So you will have time to do the like assignment during the class on Monday. How many of you have been able to do it? Okay. Oh, I guess half of the class is doing well. That's nice. So then so let's see like what the assignment you have to do. Oops.
But Professor,
Yep.
what filter did you hit on the Excel?
Say it again.
You hit some filter on the Excel sheet before you hit import?
Yeah.
It's like one of the number filters, I think. Well, on the actual Excel, you change the filter, it's when you hit import to the data, or to the R.
What does that mean?
That's, and then I worked in R with variables to see if they're imported properly.
Do that part.
Okay. And we just check what we have. You see year,
Yeah.
we make it to numeric. We see consulting spending, it's not numeric, right? And so we make it numeric. And we see NCC, we see a bunch of numbers, right? Yeah, NCC. And we click numeric. You just look at the data, what you see. If you see numbers, you make it numeric. If you see like over here, you see just name of the countries, and it says character, so it's true, right? and then you click import. Again, you click over here, there is a small triangle, you click on it, and then it gives you a bunch of options. While you're looking over here, you can look on your laptop in the conference in Zoom. Yep,
What does the term double mean?
no idea. It's not what we need. I never worked with data which is double. So half of you have done it, right? Okay, nice. Let's see what the assignment is. So you download and copy paste your data into the folder. You know how to do it, right? You set working directory into your folder. You know how to do it, right? You import your data in RStudio. I showed you how to do it. Okay, let me show you a couple of more things. Rename the data set to make it shorter. So, and I think someone. And by the way, another thing you need to do. You see, we typed important data. So what we are doing, we are copy pasting this stuff from console. We copy pasting it. Oops. We copy pasting it here in our script. And then you see it shows us error. So to get rid of the error, remember I said when we copy paste it, we don't have those like triangles, whatever. And then we need to remove those plus signs. And the reason I did this stuff, I showed you, the reason I did, let's say I need to go back to this data again, let's say 5 weeks from now. I can just run my code and it will do it. I don't have to like do anything else to get data into the R. This is why I copy paste stuff into our script. Another thing I ask you to do for the problem set, renaming the data set. Renaming data. And I type, let's say, just lobby. And I use this arrow sign. And I just start typing the name of the data set. I have an environment, so I just click on it. I run it. And you see it's an environment. So I rename the data set. You see? Okay, let's see what's next I ask you to do. Make sure variables are imported properly. Checking if variables are imported properly. For that, I use command summary. I click on it, and then I start typing name of the data set. It shows up automatically. I run it. And let's see what we have. Country, it's a character variable, right? So it was imported properly. Then we have, let's see, NCC. Remember, we made NCC numbers, and it is numbers, right? It calculated mean, median, and stuff. So it's numbers. And what else? CS consulting spending. Again, we see a bunch of numbers and years. We see years, mean, median, so it's obviously numbers. It's imported variable properly. And let's see what's next. take a screenshot and upload the screenshot. So this is what you have. And you just create a screenshot. You know how to make a screenshot, right? And then you upload the screenshot and you're done. See you next Monday. And I will be enjoying some fun.
Oh.